They thought I was the weak one, the pushover, the son who'd never fight back. But when my own family tried to steal everything my grandparents left me, they didn't expect I'd been planning for years. And when the trap snapped shut, the look on their faces was priceless. If you love stories where justice actually hits home, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment about the best revenge you've ever witnessed, because this one, it's going to sting. My name's Daniel, I'm 33, and if you asked anyone in my family, they'd describe me as the quiet one, the one who doesn't make waves, who avoids drama. They mistook silence for weakness. When my grandparents passed, they left me everything. The old family home, their savings, even stock worth nearly $1 million. Why me? Because while the rest of the family showed up only for holidays, I was the one driving them to appointments, handling bills, sitting by their side when they were too weak to cook. I earned their trust, but apparently, earning it meant nothing to my mother and my younger brother, Ethan. To them, inheritance wasn't about love. It was about entitlement. And the day the will was read, I saw it in their eyes. The disbelief, the jealousy, the silent calculation. They weren't going to let it go. At first it was small. My mom dropping hints like, "Daniel, you should share. Ethan could use the house to start fresh." Ethan was worse. He strutted around like he already owned the place, bragging about renovations he was planning. He hadn't even asked me. And then one Saturday, they showed up unannounced, smiling too wide with papers in hand. My brother smirked and said, "Good news. We've fixed Grandpa's mistake. The house is ours now." He slapped down a fake title transfer. They told me to pack up and leave by Friday. The arrogance, the disrespect, it should have rattled me. But instead, I almost laughed. Because while they'd been plotting, I'd been protecting. The property wasn't even in my name anymore. It was locked inside a trust, legally bulletproof. They thought they were sharks, but they'd just swum into a cage I'd built myself. 2 days later, they returned with movers. Loud, cocky, ready to take possession. But waiting on the porch with me was a county records officer and a folder stamped with the trust seal. The officer read out loud that the title transfer Ethan filed was fraudulent, prosecutable, and already under investigation. I'll never forget Ethan's face. The color drained. His mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. My mom tried to cover, "This is a misunderstanding." No, this was theft, attempted fraud. And now it was officially documented. They left that day without a word. But I knew they weren't finished. Sure enough, within weeks, whispers started. Relatives texting me, "Hey, your mom said you manipulated Grandpa into changing his will. Is that true?" My own mother had started spreading lies. That I took advantage of Grandpa's declining health, that I pressured him. It was vicious, ugly, and calculated to destroy my reputation so I'd cave. But here's where they made their mistake. They underestimated how much proof I had. I didn't argue with relatives. Instead, I gathered receipts. Medical reports showing Grandpa was mentally sound. Signed, notarized trust documents months before his health declined. Text messages of Ethan openly bragging about big money coming. And then, the piece de resistance, video clips from my grandparents themselves. Months before passing, they recorded messages explaining their wishes. In Grandpa's own voice, he said, "Daniel is the one who cared for us. The house is his, no one else's." I kept all of it safe. Until the right moment. First, I had my lawyer file fraud charges against Ethan for forging signatures. That alone put his shiny new real estate job in jeopardy. Then, I sent a quiet but devastating group email to the entire extended family. Attached were Grandpa's recordings, the notarized trust papers, and proof of Ethan's fake title stunt. I didn't add commentary, just facts. Truth has a way of speaking louder than lies. The family chat that exploded afterward? Let's just say my mother and Ethan were suddenly very, very quiet. But I wasn't done. Through my lawyer, we contacted Ethan's employer. After all, wouldn't a company obsessed with ethical property transfers want to know one of their agents had attempted real estate fraud? 3 days later, Ethan was fired. The final blow came in the form of a letter. not from them to them. My lawyer filed a restraining order, citing harassment, fraud, and attempted eviction. It barred both my mother and Ethan from setting foot on the property. When the sheriff served it, I heard Ethan exploded in front of the neighbors, shouting, "He's not even a man, hiding behind lawyers." But that's the thing about people like him. They mistake kindness for weakness, silence for submission. And then they learn the hard way. Planning beats arrogance. Every single time. I stood on that porch later, remembering what my grandfather used to say, "Watch what people do when they think no one's paying attention. That's who they really are." He was right. My family showed me their true selves, and I showed them mine. Not weak, not naive, but prepared. Because sometimes the best revenge is simply being untouchable. If you were in my shoes, would you have fought back or walked away? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed watching justice finally land where it belongs, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs a reminder. Karma always comes knocking.